people, great people, great people. Salute. That's not it to you this day. Come on, you already know I don't want nothing from you. And for you who do not know, I don't want anything from you. In a cold, crooked world, and I dare declare a cold, crooked world, well, most of the people that's around, they are stealing from you. They are taking from you. They're attempting to deceive you in some form or some manner. They are attempting to sell you something. They are attempting to make sure that you understand that they are the hierarchy, that they have something that is above you, and you yourself need to be pulling towards them, regardless of anything. You need to be paying into them. I don't want anything from you. I just want to be the one to speak into your life based on my experiences. I want to be the one to speak into your life based on my schooling, based on my education, right? Based on the fact that I myself recognize my heavenly citizenship. And so much as I recognize my heavenly citizenship, excuse me, I recognize that there's a standard that must be held if you are to call yourself chosen, if you are to call yourself great, if you are to call yourself an icon or some phenomenal being. I want to be the one to speak into your life. I want to be the one to continuously stretch your mind, stretch your heart into a place of critical thinking for your mind. Stretch your heart into a place of positivity, to a place of consideration, to a place of reintroducing yourself into the golden rule. If I don't want it done to me, then I won't do it to anyone else. You remember that? Anybody remember that? Maybe a little bit, right? There used to be this place where if I didn't disrespect you, I'm definitely not expecting for you to be disrespecting me. Today, there's something where we are asking all things and not willing to give. I'm talking about from what do we want as a date? What do we want as a lover? What do we want as a book? What do we want as a business? But when we are asked a thing, we can't answer what we will be offering. What would we be offering? Would it be positive vibes? Would it be just a cynical attitude? Would it be someone that's controlled by sexual morality or sexual immorality? Or are we submitting ourselves to someone of greed, someone of abandonment, someone that haven't guarded their heart, understanding that out of their heart flows the issues of life? I'm here to make sure that we consider these sort of things, right? This push is a daily thing. This push is a reminder that in the middle, quite often is the most difficult time. I have my mornings I can get up and I can charge myself up, and at nighttime I know that I must lay down because it's been so difficult. Right in the middle, something tends to happen where I forget that the prayer is still important. Right in the middle, I forget that my word and the words of positive reinforcement still matters. In the middle, I kind of forget that in the midst of my tiredness, I need to continue to remind myself that I have to keep going, that it's about me, that there is something in someone dependent on. It has to be someone, right? It has to be, because even without your children, you still exist. Okay, I didn't want anyone slipping, going too far, and saying someone, yeah, you matter. And that's what this is about. This daily push has an overarching theme of restoring your value, understanding that you are the imagery of God. You can speak things that are not in existence by merely connecting your mind and your heart. You can bring yourself from a place of destitution, a place where you yourself have been ostracized. You have been drowning in your regrets. You yourself know the symptoms of depression, though you have not been marked. I dare say it again, which is very dangerous. People are self-diagnosing themselves with depression, not even understanding that that's a terrible thing to put in your mind and in your heart, continuously speak that very thing. But they know the symptoms so well because they are around individuals that have exhibited and do exhibit it now, whether it's postpartum depression, whether they had the child and now the child is born and now they feel so alone and just trying to find their way. Some women never recover from that point, and so now you have to pour into their life and you have to allow them to know that they're there, especially if you have a situation like me where I was struggling and I was going through a thing right when my child was being born. And this is a recent incident, and so I am a man's man, and so I'm very uncomfortable when I can't contribute to the household, when I can't speak life, and seeing as though I grew up in an orphan, I don't really know how to stand there when it gets the roughest. I run and I try to situate myself, and then I come back because I fear embarrassment. Well, I'm in a place now where that is held against me. Well, it literally is being said to me that We don't need you in our lives. Speaking about the child and speaking about the child's mother. So I want you to be very, very careful as you listen to me and as we go forth, how to deal with different situations. If you're speaking about being loved, if you're speaking about being valuable, which we are, we're speaking about being valuable, and we're speaking about restoring that value, right? In a place where I just spoke of in the aforementioned thing as far as being pushed to the side because she felt abandoned. The restoration comes where you have to be mindful of the duties of your love. You have to be mindful of the duties of your care. If you said that I will always be there, something in you should trigger that you will always be there in some form, some manner. If a person that's giving you this large amount of help, spoken to your life, gave you a place to lay, some place to sit, if they are in a place of mad bitterness and they're going through their own thing, I dare say the value in you says rest, chill, sit idle until they come around, because you have to be the person that's in and around their life at that particular moment, just like they were in and around your life at that particular moment when you were struggling, you were striving, and you chose to take off. Because that's me. I chose to take off. I was still accepted, but I chose to take off, right? I don't know how to deal with certain things because in me, as I mentioned before, there is still some guarding of my heart that I must do, and the issue of abandonment still comes out. And so often you'll see me run to a place when I feel the most hurt and the most downed, or I've heard the most disrespectful thing. I close down, I shut down, I won't say anything. That is an issue that has to come with just moving and around, all around town, and people constantly telling you you're never going to be anything, you're less of, your mom is a dope head, that's why nobody don't want you, or even going to different foster homes. And it says you got to be a sad case when your family don't even want you, and you have to come and live with people that you don't even know, right? So I feel a special regard for people as it pertains to helping them unlock some potentiality, or even remembering you have value and it must be restored. This day, great people, I want to thank you for tuning in to Daily Push, and I want to, again, just only be in episode 2, I want to let you know, right, I'm building this bridge to inform you that there's an individual that truly understands the heartache and pain, that truly understands what it is to suffer, truly has been on the very, very bottom, and now making tracks as it pertains to talking and walking, learning heavenly lessons, putting myself in a place of understanding what concepts are, the understanding of what submission can do in and around your life, how it can hide in you. It can hide in your level. Submission, that is. I never minimize submission. We have gotten away from it. And I believe it's a strategic mechanism or a strategic move by the enemy, or the enemy that I'm familiar with, to displace our thoughts, to bring us to a place that we all are bigger than what we really are, to bring us to a place to understand or make us believe that we are not beneath anything. Right? I think that when the enemy lies, he tells you that you're in control. I think that anyone that gets a chance to take a hold of God's power, playing strategy and infinite, unfailing love, we understand that that's the biggest lie that you can learn. Right? Right? It gets no bigger. I will always be a student to God. I may become a leader, I become your president, I can become anything, but to God, I will always be a student. His word lasts forever. Great people, be ever mindful that you have a responsibility. Be ever mindful that it's okay to right your wrongs. And it's definitely okay to rest and wait on someone that you believe that's your life. That's your heart. They're just going to bring something to you that you cannot explain right now, but you know that there's something there. You can feel it. You can feel their love. You can feel God's connection. But what you don't feel is enough people rooting you on. enough people telling you that you can make it, that it doesn't matter how old you are. You don't have enough people reminding you that you're too cool, man. You're too cool. Sometimes when you're so cool, you can't get your job done. You want everyone to see you in your coolness as opposed to working. You can't get more attractive than working, my man, my queen. All right. So with that being said, I pray that you all have a phenomenal day. Continue to remember you, if nothing else. We're going to remember your why, but you got to remember you, your why you live, why you move, why you purpose. We're getting to know all that. But today, I just want you to be mindful that we're going to ease into this thing. But as we ease into this thing, start to think about what makes you valuable. That's just a question for you. What makes you valuable? What do you think makes people attracted to you? What do you think make people look at you in such a way? I know how you bat your eyes. I got it. I know that when you throw your lashes on, you believe that you are the prettiest. I know that when you get your hair done, you feel that you are the prettiest. When you get something popping, I know you think that you are the prettiest. And if you've ever been around me, you know that when you are the natural, I compliment you the most. I show you that I'm attracted to you the most. And the authentic you will always be much better than the fake someone else. And truly, you are the fake someone else when you are got all this adaptation. All right. So great people, continue to know that you are loved. Continue to move with confidence. Continue to understand and be certain about your destiny. And the only how you can be certain about it is you continuously repeat it, continuously pushing it into yourself, continuously not allowing, right? Not allowing other people voices to reign over yours. Let yourself know you got somewhere to be. You shall make it to that place. This is your day for the taking. Be of a mind for the taking. Poses. Salute. Continue to know you are great in your own